Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Jose. I am a Golden in Kendo, and this is Kendo Tips. We're going to be watching some Kendo matches and see if we can learn something, pick something for our Kendo. And overall, if you have any questions or I can help you with anything, yeah, I'm here for that. Let me know. Today, we're gonna continue watching some of the All Japan Championship matches, and we're gonna go into one of the semifinals, the finals, and we'll see how much time we have for the rest of the time. If you haven't, please take a second, hit the like button. It really helps the stream to get pushed out to more people. And if you haven't subscribed, also please subscribe. Coming close to 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so very excited for that. Also, if you don't know, we have a Discord server that you can join. It's completely free. You can just, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. 1 second. And if you want to meet more Kendo people or talk about Kendo, ask any questions, you can message me there. And, you know, also you can get to know more Kendo people around the world. Anyways, without further ado, let's go into some of these videos. I'm going to be watching a lot into the moment of attacking and the right engagement of the body. So lately what I've been doing is I've been trying to break down my practice and the things that I want to focus on, so that way I don't overwhelm myself and thinking too many things, and I can feel that I'm always making progress. So specifically what I did is I divided different parts of the body that I want to work on, like my hips, my footwork, my shoulders, my tenouchi, and just picking one of those things and something specific I want to do in each practice to make sure that I make it what's the word, unconscious, right? Like I start doing them without thinking. So sometimes as I'm doing Jigeiko, you know, I go back to, okay, am I doing it? And I'm not. Okay, like fix it. And trying to make it where choosing the specific things that I think are going to improve my Kendo, doing them repeatedly to make it a habit, pretty much, right? Maintaining it, and if I feel that I'm comfortable with it, I'll move up to the next thing. So the main thing that I've been working for this week is core and stability. Okay, so what that means is to be able to throw yourself into an attack, into a technique, and regain your balance pretty quick. And at moments like Tayatari or Hikiwasa, and even in Subasari, I feel sometimes people tend to kind of like slouch or not really have good engagement of the core at that moment. So I've been very mindful of that, and I kind of want to pick up on how it's done here at this level of Kendo. So if you have any questions, again, please let me know. And yeah, let's get into some videos. Okay. So this one is one of the semifinals. This is Hoshiko and Matsusaki. So if you don't know, Hoshiko already won All Japan, and they both, I think they are you know, they always had like a big competition between the two of them, and they're, for what I understand, they're pretty friendly with each other. So it's kind of cool to see this type of interaction in my opinion. So right at the bat, I see how Hoshiko moves his feet, and it's very aggressive, but at the same time has a lot of stability. And actually this is pretty cool to watch. So if you watch at the beginning how he's moving, and this is something that I'm also working on for myself, being able to move with a very short step without feeling tense, right? Where he feels relaxed, he's moving quick, he's moving the feet quick, but he's, you know, like being able to go forward, backwards, wherever he wants to go. And at the moment where he chooses to attack, you see he closes the distance, he just brings the back leg. Okay, he didn't have that opportunity there, but he's gonna do it one more time. So if you watch, look at the back leg. Very, very interesting. So he is in kamae, he puts pressure, he anchors his back leg, and as he anchors his back leg, he's pushing forward, right? One of the habits that are commonly developed is people putting too much weight on the right leg, on the forward leg, and when they're moving back or when they're putting that foot down, it's not really pushing forward. So here, if you can see, Hoshiko is holding himself with the back leg and he's pushing forward. He's putting energy towards the opponent. He stops himself with the forward leg briefly and he's still pushing with that back leg and continues the momentum to go forward for a technique. So very, very important very important thing to keep in mind is that the back leg has to support you but also has to create power for you to attack your opponent. Hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. So if you watch, we're talking a little bit about core stability and Matsutake. Look at the position that he's having. His feet are pretty much like kamae. He is leaning a little bit forward, but he's not pushing in, right? He's very relaxed, and as Hoshiko tries to move around him, he just keeps that center, but still keeping balance and straight posture in his body. Very cool interaction here with the shinais. Watch. So Matsuzaki tries to put pressure, tries to take the center. Hoshiko replies with a little bit of pressure with the body. And there's a lot of tension there, a lot of opportunity for mistake, but both of them are very engaged with each other. So it's interesting because if you look at the tips in here of the shinai, they look very tense, right? But if you look at the shoulders and how they move their arms, they're actually pretty relaxed. They have to be in order to move that quick, right? And that's the thing, one of the biggest mistakes that we make in our practice. As we're closing the distance, we tend to tense up. And actually, if you see, look how Matsuzaki is approaching right here. He's throwing the legs, he's engaging the legs first, right? This is another good habit to develop, right? Like being able to throw your body in without really engaging your hands. And if you watch White on the right, Matsuzaki, he's going to move in. Wait a second. Okay, he's going to move in as he's relaxing his hands. He does bring the sword down. Maybe he's trying to get Hoshiko to be mindful of the kote so he can come back up for a men or even at Tsuki. And then he brings the hands up after he moves the feet, right? So he didn't go in for a technique. I guess he tried to do maybe like a fake or something. Maybe he hesitated. But the fact is that being able to throw your body in without tensing your arms is a very important skill to develop in order to improve your kendo and to actually have good and fast kendo. Let me catch up with this comment. T11, welcome to the chat. Thank you very much for passing by. Wait, hold on, because my chat is pretty small. Sorry, I'm working with only one monitor for the time being, so please bear with me. Okay, about that, you were sometimes told that when you lift your front foot off, it should be a bit like you fall. Like you fall in front of you and have to use the creative momentum to advance. Yes, that's not wrong. The problem comes when you become dependent only on this feeling of falling. So if you think about it, if you're falling into it, you only have one timing, right? I wish I could have more space here to show you guys. But when you're falling in, you only have one timing, one speed, but you still should have your back foot on the ground. And what that means is that that foot can create power. And if you haven't watched it, I actually posted a video, and maybe you guys can watch it after the stream, or if you have to go, you can have it. Fumikiri, right? Fumikiri, it's that push off the ground with the back foot. And this not only creates stability, but also can change the timing and extend your reach, right? Because if you're falling into, pretty much you already decided where you're gonna land at the moment that you started your technique. And it doesn't quite work that way. You cannot depend only on that fall feeling. You have to push off the ground with the back foot. And actually, Keshi247, he posted a comment on that last video that I did, that sometimes that overemphasizing of the fumikomi kind of makes heavier kendo. He didn't say it like this, by the way. He just kind of, I'm rephrasing, I'm trying to remember what he said, but fumikiri tends to be a little bit under focus, or like, forgotten sometimes. And this actually creates much more power and creates a better fumikomi if you understand how to do it properly. So if you want to say like the breakdown for this, it's that you're pushing off the ground, you start that momentum, and right before your foot leaves the ground, the back foot, you push again, you kick off. And this is going to it's going to maintain your body at the same level, rather than allowing your body to fall for then your your forward foot, your fumikomi foot, to bring you back up. So yeah, I think I made a couple of videos about that, but this last one kind of connects these specific elements into it. Hope that makes sense. So you got it for this precisions. You look into the Fumikiri video later, additionally. And again, like if you read off, actually Kenshi247, he has a couple good videos about it. Let me see if I can just post this video here while we watch this stuff. But yeah, anyways, let's keep going with this video. Okay, I just posted the video on the chat. Guys, if you haven't, please take a second, hit that like button, really helps the channel. Kendo Journey, thank you for being a member of the stream, and give me a second, I'll catch up with this comment in a second. Oh, okay, so this is a good habit to create, right? Like, a lot of times when you're in Shiai specifically, but even in Jigeiko, when somebody comes in and tries to hold your sword, the first instinct is to fight it off, right? And this shouldn't be the right response. Instead of fighting off that pressure, you want to try to retake the center, whether it is to go on around and press over it, releasing them, and then controlling them, or like Hoshiko just did here, he just went around and threw a technique. There's different ways to do it, there's not the only three, but you want to make sure that you don't fight off. So if you notice, Hoshiko kind of like stayed there a little bit, but then immediately tried to go around. Good habit to create. Good habit. Shiko is very aggressive, very interesting, and Matsusaki is kind of creating distance and kind of making him uneasy, I think. But if you notice, he's doing it very relaxed, right? There's tension in the match, but you can see their body, they have relaxation in very key points, like the shoulders, the arms, the back foot, and both of them very engaged. Yes. Sorry, let's just watch the Sipo one more time. So as you advance and you don't attack, you're actually giving your opponent a chance to read off your timing and understand. So if you notice what happened here, it's not necessarily that Matsuzaki made an opening, but instead it's just he held off the pressure and Hoshiko made the mistake. He covered up, and then instead of having the instinct of going in, if you notice, even though he can hit from here, his intention is not towards the opponent. The tip of his shinai is kind of going out, but instead Matsuzaki has the shinai towards the opponent, making it easy as the opportunity comes to take advantage of the opening and take the man. So having the intention towards the opponent, of course sometimes we lose that, but you always want to try to keep your shinai. You always want to try to keep your shinai towards your opponent, so that way if there's an opening that your opponent made a mistake and you have the opportunity, it's going to be easier, not only time-wise to take it, but also the way that you're gonna have to move is going to be much easier. Okay, I have to say, the mechanics of the movement, also the mechanics of the movement are going to be much easier, and you're gonna be able to transfer more power into your opponent, that instead if you have your shinai away from your opponent. Having the, I don't wanna say the Hatsuji Raila, but like having the shinai ready to strike, it's much better than approaching, and even if you're blocking, having the tip away. Or having, it's better to approach that way rather than having the shinai away and having to come back into center to attack. And if you watch it, when you're watching slow motion, you see that at the moment where he decided to attack, Matsuzaki's shinai was lined up with Hoshiko. And at the moment, okay, it's right here. The moment when he decided to attack, Matsuzaki's shinai was lined up with Hoshiko, where at this point, Hoshiko, his shinai is too high, it's too far away from his body. He doesn't have that much control. So at the moment of the opening, Matsuzaki was able to produce more power, bring it down faster, and just overall take the point. And Hoshiko kind of came in late because he couldn't produce that much power based on how his arms were, the shinai was. Hope that makes sense. Hope I didn't ramble too much. Okay. Kendo Journey, welcome to the stream again. Thank you for passing by. How do you make sure that you are going forward instead of upward when you push your left leg? Oof. Okay, this is actually very, very interesting topic. Okay, I'm just gonna share this with you guys. Let me see if I can see my screen as I do this. Okay, a little special. So, okay, don't move. I need to move the camera real quick. It's a little bit messy. I don't have too much space here, but okay. So, one thing that I've been doing lately to make that happen, to kind of like train my body to do that, is I have a rubber band. I don't know if you can see it from here. Okay, yeah, right here. So I put it around my core and try to train myself to just, come in here and be able to launch my body, train my foot position in order to go forward. Sorry, like my apartment, it's kind of like very tiny and maybe not easy to do this, but ideally what you want to do is that you want to train your foot position. I think a lot of it comes from your foot position, and you want to be able to push off with power, so like explode into a technique without going up. And the way you have to do this, I think, is to break it down and then once you have the right foot position, coming in the foot and leg position, sorry, like I didn't want to say just foot. Once you have the foot and leg position, you understand this dynamic, you can come in and do it more naturally. So doing one step and going forward, one step and pushing one step and throwing your body in color. Let me just put the camera on. It's distracting me because it's kind of cutting my head off. Okay, you guys see me here? There you go. So what you want to do is you want to train your body, like your back leg, to understand the right position to throw yourself forward. And you have to have your core braced first. That's key. That's number one. Hope that makes sense. Again, we can talk about this since you remember. Like, I'll message you. We'll talk about this. Send me a message in case I forget, but we can talk about this more. Alejandro, saludos desde Uruguay, de un pana venezolano. Contáctame, vamos a ponernos en contacto. Creo que tú me escribiste un mensaje en Instagram, si no me equivoco. Disculpa que no te he respondido, pero he estado súper ocupado. Pero yeah, okay, we'll talk. Okay, Kendo Journey, do you shift your body weight slightly forward too? No. As a matter of fact, an observation Sensei made me, and something that it's been in my head, but I kind of hadn't clicked before, is that a lot of times when we're trying to semi, right, to put pressure, we close the distance, and the first thing we do is kind of like leaning like this, right? And what that does, if you think about it, especially if your legs are spread apart, is that it's gonna change the angle on when you're gonna push in, and then your body is gonna do like this too, right? Like it's gonna push off, but it's gonna push off in an awkward position, and you're not gonna get a good balance. So instead, what I'm trying to do lately is actually arch my back and put my weight back a little bit, but with my core embraced and my core braced. Like if your core is not braced, this really is hard to do, and it's hard to do, especially when doing things like kakarigeiko, right? Like when you're going around, it can become very sloppy. So you want to try to keep your core braced, your body straight, and I tilt a little bit backwards, granted. You don't want to put your weight back either, right? You want to have it between both legs. And for me specifically, it works to bring myself back because naturally I kind of want to bring my upper body forward. So as you do this, you kind of start creating that understanding on how to throw your body forward and not be able to jump. But the key point to fix this is to notice it. So if you're noticing this, you're on the right path, I think. So yeah, it's just a matter of breaking it down and being patient with it, and don't skip the slow part. Okay, hope that makes sense. Great point here. And by the way, guys, if anybody would like to become a member of the stream, I'll put the link in the chat. What that does is it helps me support the channel, and it helps me make more videos, make sure that I have everything set up. I want to hire a translator to start doing interviews with senseis here since I'm in Japan, and that will be a big help for that. That being said, also you get a couple extra perks if you become a member. So yeah, please check it out. Let me know your thoughts. Uncle Wiki, you've been taught to push with your tendon, but it's easier said than done. And this is a very interesting point. When you said push with your tendon, what does that mean? What does that mean? So for me, that's why I use a rubber band, and I think it helps my understanding. The rubber band doesn't make me stronger. It just helps me, my mind understand what muscles I'm using. Maybe it does makes me stronger, right? But I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm not doing it to build muscle or anything like that. I'm just using it to understand what muscles and how should I be pushing in order to create that momentum. And that being said, yeah, it's easier said than done. And what does it mean? You have to figure out what it means. So I think it's a little bit different for everybody too, right? So please, if you have any questions, just let me know, reach out, and I'm here for that. Oh, that was very risky from Masaki. Oh, but he's not holding back. Look, he tried to do that degote as Hoshiko came in. I think it was great moment to come in for Hoshiko, but I feel like he's not really engaging so much. He's engaging, but he's kind of coming in a little bit scared. He's been doing that during the fight. So he's coming in, he got a reaction. Maybe that would have been a good time to attack. But then as Matsuzaki is relaxing, he throws a technique. So that was a great timing. That if we're talking about when to attack, attacking at the moment where after your opponent covered and he's relaxing, this is a great time, right? He should attack a little bit earlier, I think, but great opportunity to attack. He almost got it, and Matsuzaki was not able to get a solid kote at this distance because he was relaxing. And then we have this little push. So this is why you don't lift your hands in for Subaseri. Okay, you watch. So when you're in Subaseri, if you have, or after a technique, if you raise your hands too much, you kind of drop off and you throw off your body balance, and getting pushed, it can get you to come off, to fall on the ground. Oh, I guess he also left the court. But this was done very nicely, right? Because it didn't look like he was trying to push him to get off the court. He pushed him off in a very nice way, in a way that made him seem like he was going to fall. He couldn't. As a matter of fact, if he would have fallen, I think he wouldn't have gotten the hansoku. Depending, I cannot see the line, but I think it was done very clever, very clever use. Uncle Wiki, lower abdomen. Oh wait, sorry, discipline. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for passing by. Your tandem is just your center of gravity. Yeah, it's your core. Like if you want to use English, I guess you can just say core, right? Uncle Wiki, lower abdomen engagement. So pushing out for you creates tension on your back leg. When you say pushing out with your abs, that's what you're trying to say. That's what you mean, lower abdomen engagement. So if you go to YouTube and you can find core bracing, there's a couple of easy ways to understand how to do this, and it's pretty simple. Many people describe this as like bracing yourself for a punch. It's not quite, because when you do that, you kind of like you slouch in, and it shouldn't feel that you shouldn't be getting tension. It should be stabilizing your body. So yeah, take a second, and maybe I can make a video about that too. But I think there's a lot of personal trainers that have videos about that, and it's key. It's key for athletic motion, I think. The more you push out while maintaining an upright posture, the more your back leg feels loaded and ready to go. Okay, sorry. So Uncle Wiki, you're saying that by putting tension on your core, your back leg creates tension. So is this good tension or not? And I thought you said back. Your back creates tension. So sorry, I misread that. So because towards the end you said that your upright posture, the more your back leg feel, the more you have your tension, your back leg feels loaded. So I'm having a little bit of hard time understanding the connection between how tensing your core makes your back leg feel loaded. Is it because like you're bringing yourself straight? I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time getting an image of it. But it's an interesting point, so that's why I want to know. Steven, thanks for tips about Fumikiri. You think about that at practice today? Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was talking about earlier. You want to focus on one thing, right? Like just try to simplify during your practice. So thank you, Steven, for passing by. Let me know if you come to Japan. Ariga-sensei is here, right? When is the Hachidan test? Because I know we just had up to 7 dan last week. So we're talking about stability right? And this is why I think having good stability is important. Look at this exchange. So immediately as Matsuzaki attacks, he is stable. On the other hand, Hoshiko, he is stable and he's able to attack on the way back, but immediately shift to go forward, right? So watch this. Goes back and immediately being able to go forward without shifting the core, right? If you see the upper body, it's like he's coming in like this, goes backwards, goes forward. It's not like, like bending or whatever. He's very stable. Like his body, it's easy to move by using momentum and then the legs. And actually, T11, I think you were saying the whole thing about falling in. This is a good way to kind of use, because remember, it's not about only muscle. It's also about technique, right? Being able to move around your body in order to make it easier for other parts of your body to move it. So, yeah, I feel like now I'm rambling because there's so much information. I've been paying attention to so many of these things lately. So, interesting topic for me. T11, interesting. The arch back posture is found all around the diverse martial arts. It's the same in the Naginata, in which breaking posture is even more dangerous and drastically reduces strike precision. Interesting. I never done Naginata, but that's actually a very good, relationship. And still, you said maybe today or tomorrow. Yeah, man. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it. I hope they stream it too. But I don't think they'll stream it, right? They don't stream this. Look how fluidly, even though maybe he's a little bit relaxed, Hoshiko, after he attacks, look how fluid he moves his feet, how easy the motion is, and how straight his body is, right? And this comes naturally just because he has that engagement of the core. Now at this point it kind of becomes a little bit hard because it's pressed for time, right? Oh, very nice, man. Very nice, man. So why do you think Matsuzaki was able to get this ippon? After a technique, after a technique, zanshin is very important, and zanshin is not just about how your body moves, it's about that attention towards your opponent. So in this case, I think Hoshiko threw that kote, and yes, he had good body movement on the way back, but I don't think there was that connection or that readiness towards whatever action the opponent could make. And Matsuzaki just took this opportunity. He saw the space, he saw the timing, he came in with power and took that opportunity. And a lot of times it's not about what openings you can make your opponent do, but you also have to be ready for the opportunities when your opponent makes that opening for you. And I think in this case, Matsuzaki took a very, very good approach to it. He was engaged, he came in forward, he was ready, approached them, attacked, and successfully took that ippon. Very cool. Interesting. Alejandro, do you have any tips? It's okay if I speak in English. Está bien que hable en inglés, no hay problema. As to picking your first bogu, you might have the opportunity to go to Japan, but you're looking for any and all options. Okay, so first bogu, you want something durable, and if it's first bogu, I would say you want something that's very protective on the kote, or get a kote protector, because I think even though you should get used to getting hit without it, at the beginning it can be very annoying, and I think it puts off a lot of people from getting for continuing kendo. I've been using the Myrmidon set for 1 year already, and I've been using it a lot. I'm about to do an update review on it, and I think it's a great bogu for people outside of Japan, because it's very durable. It looks good. The materials are very good when it comes for like drying and stuff like that. They're not all my preferred materials, but I do like a lot of the things that are in this bogu. A lot of it has to do with budget though, but I wouldn't go for anything too cheap, because again, you might sacrifice protection and comfort. And there's something that I've been noticing from cheap kote. I don't have these kotes here. I actually have them at a dojo. But some of the cheap kotes, I've been noticing that the part where like, okay, hold on, let me just get it. The front kote. Give me 1 second. I guess I can finally use this screen. Okay, I'm back. I got to, so I don't know if you can see in here. There, okay. So you see where like this stitches are. I forgot the name of the stitches. So a lot of times the padding around it kind of just moves out for the cheaper kote. And when you get hit there, it's not so much of a problem. But a lot of times when you do something that has to do with friction, like, you know, you come into a tsuba or stuff like that, it becomes really annoying. It really feels that like the tsuba is digging into your skin right there. And I don't know if that's the case. So, you know, a lot of times they have like a lot of this stitches. So with this ones, I haven't had this problem. But maybe getting something like that has, you know, only one or something like that, it will probably be also a good option, because it makes it where like that padding is going to stay there in a lot of those areas, and there's very low chances that in this little part you're going to get hit, right? So that being said, you know, I can, if you message me and remind me about this, I can send you a couple of options. If you do buy from Kendo store, there's a discount. It's a 20% discount. I think the code is Kendo Tips. Yeah, Kendo Tips. And that way, I don't get anything from that, but you guys get a 20% discount. So that's something to think about. You don't want to get anything Jisengata or competition stuff, because definitely that's going to be you know, unnecessary. Hold on, let me change the video while we talk about this. You don't want to get anything too fancy, but also don't get something like extremely cheap. It really you want to get something, if you like Kendo and you're gonna stay, you're gonna get something that you're gonna feel comfortable, but most of all protected. So the Myrmidon set, I think it's a good option for what I have tried. Yeah, I don't know if you have any other questions while I look for this video. Okay, so we're gonna watch the final. Okay, give it a second. Okay, maybe, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time to do the whole thing, because I do have to start going in a little bit, but here we go. That has a very good strike. Very fast. So it's interesting how. So, quick tip as you move up in rank for testing, and this is not something that I came up with. It's something that I was told by a sensei that I think is true. If your fight looks boring, right, most likely you're not gonna pass, because if it looks boring, it's because there's no tension, right? There's nothing happening. So interesting enough, you can see the tension here on this fight, right? So it keeps you engaged, but at the same time, something is happening where maybe it's because both of them the stakes are high, so they really don't want to, do anything rash, that they're not engaged the same way, for example, of the fight that we just saw. I don't know if that makes sense. And of course, as the fight starts going, this will change. So if your test is like this, you want to keep this in mind, because you want to definitely not do your shinsa the whole time like that. See, there's like a little bit of pressure, but even if there was an opening at this point, hold on, I don't know what happened here. Come on. You see, Red Masaki is doing a little bit of pressure, right? He's doing the pressure, but it's like he's not willing to go. Immediately, he's bringing his body back, right? He's not holding that pressure. He goes in, but then immediately brings it back. It's okay, maybe he's trying to get the timing of the opponent, but what I'm saying is that as we're practicing, and that's something that we normally do a lot, right? We put that pressure, but then we disengage the back leg. He's actually keeping it engaged. That's very important. But you want to kind of put that pressure and be ready to go, and if nothing happens, maybe you need to regroup so you can, take another step in, which he does, right? Then goes back. You have to be very careful of this back step right here. You see, he comes in, he brings the body forward, and then he immediately goes back. So they're trying to understand the timing and like the responses of the opponent. But in Shinza, this is something that you might not want to do. Sorry, I wasn't clear. I was talking about Shinza specifically. So maybe you're gonna get Hansoku for that, right? Like they're not really engaging. Or not. Oh no, he has to fix something. Okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun now. Oh. These are the things that I like to watch a lot of times because I think it can offer a lot of insight into it. The distance is very close, so at this point moving the sword around becomes a little bit uncomfortable, right? Depending on your kamae. But White went underneath. I don't know if you caught that. He didn't go in for a kote. He just kind of went in. Maybe he did try to do a kote because I thought he was going to go for man right after, right? But this is also a very good approach, right? Like to get an opening. Going around for that kote and then coming around for a man after, that would have been a cool interaction. So that will be that's something that maybe you want to try to during Jigeko, right? Practice that. Asas banana. I'm gonna call you Asas. Let me write it down, and maybe we can do that for the next stream. Where's my notebook? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna write it here. Canada, Brazil. Anything specifically that interested you about that fight? Let me know. I'll watch it, and then maybe we can do it for next stream. Why not? Yeah, so they're very, very passive, right? Let's go forward and see what happens. Okay, so now let's see why. Let's see what happened. The previous, maybe they were just sticking there in Suicide too long, right? Okay, so maybe this is a boring point, but you can see here from the All Japan Championship what could be considered a long Super Serie I. So starting from here, see, and they got separated not because they looked like they had the intention to separate, but because the Shimpan separated them. So very important to keep in mind, because a lot of times people think that, oh, with the new rules, people cannot do Super Serie I. Super Serie I can be done. The judges were allowing it, but at the point that it dragged, they stop it, and later on, they gave a warning, right? Okay, hold on. Later on, they gave a warning. So you want to make sure that you understand these points, so that way, you're not being caught up on, what should you do. I hope that makes sense. Let me know. So it's very important to understand, okay, when is too long, when is not too long, and what can you do. I think understanding and studying these rules is going to be important if you're going to participate in Shiai, because you want to, and if you want to participate in Shiai, and if you want to be a good Shimpan. So maybe watching more of these instances can help us grow in our Kendo. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Steven, take care. Have a good practice. Oh, I guess, yeah, they didn't give the Hansoku. So I guess they forgot to say the Hansoku, maybe? That's such a weird thing to happen. That is such a weird thing to happen. Oh. So this is another thing that you might want to understand, at least, so you don't get caught up by surprise, right? Many people, they block this way thinking that they're safe, but somebody that understands good Shinai technique and how to move the sword around, they can go around and hit within that space that is not covered. Oh, that was such a good exchange. So Matsuzaki is holding his ground. Natsumeda is coming in, putting pressure. He does get a reaction from him, so he decides to go forward. And at this point now he's chasing him. And at some point Matsuzaki holds his ground, right? Engages his back foot. And then he was covering, but immediately decided to go in for an attack. If Natsumeda wouldn't be raising his sword at this point, maybe he would have gotten hit. But I think it was very good power from both of them. A very good engagement from both of them. Yeah, at this point I feel like Natsumeda is ready to go in. Can I talk about the importance of their footwork? Specifically, see they're constantly making small movements. This is something you know you need to work on. Yeah, don't we all? And yeah, this is something that I always pay attention to, and something that I need to also work more into it. But I said this earlier, and I'll say it again because obviously more people are coming in. If you want to really improve your kendo, you want to learn how to do small steps, quick, but without tension, or without tension in places where it shouldn't be. Being able to move fluidly. And some of the senseis, when they explain this to me, they kind of say, oh, like a boxer, right? You want to be able to move like a boxer, but you don't want to have your legs spread out. And something that actually was mentioned to me yesterday in practice is that you want to have this approach towards the opponent. But once you're here, once you're coming in here, there's when you want to anchor your back foot and start giving pressure with your back leg, moving your body forward. If you feel the opponent can come in, it's about to come in, you can attack. You want to have that leg ready to go and attack. Maybe sometimes you're going to have to bring the back leg forward, maybe because the opponent's going to go back and so on. But definitely understanding how to move quick and sharply with little steps is key. Many of us are just watching the opponents, watching the shinai as it makes contact, but moving the feet, it's so much more important. You watch, see, watch white right now. One step, little step, go in. Galaxy, Ohio, welcome to the stream. And SS, in Canada vs Japan match in Brazil, 2009, the Taisho match interested me, and I wanted to know how to imitate or do something like the kotes that Japan was doing. Okay, cool. I'll keep in mind for it. I think for next stream I can do that, because I have to go in a little bit. So they're going to Encho. Wait, hold on. Guys, if you haven't, please take a second, hit the like button. Really helps the channel. Okay, we're talking about Matsuzaki. Sorry, being very defensive and like not really engaging. So Natsumeda, I think this is a good technique to keep in mind for this type of situations. Katatetsuki, because he's able to come in quick, especially if his opponent is not really raising his hands, maybe just stepping back and moving the sword down. Very good technique, but you have to be very careful how you do your follow through after that, because as you see, if you miss, your opponent can react very aggressively. That right here looks like a lightsaber duel. I don't know about you. I don't know what you think, but this looks like a lightsaber, right? Here, blam. I don't know. Maybe I just want to watch some Star Wars. Ooh. So we're talking about stability, right? Having good stability is the reason, how do you say this? If you don't have stability, you cannot do things like this. Look at white. Red comes in, so he goes back immediately, and then because he has good stability, because he has his body weight distributed properly, his core is engaged, he's able to move his sword around to throw a technique back at him. and then be ready because he missed it. So be ready after that immediately. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Asas, you're asking when will be the next time I will be streaming. I will be streaming on Monday morning Japan time, and if you would like, I'm gonna put the Discord server. You're welcome to pass by and join it. And I normally make an announcement there too, just to pass the link. The link should be passing up. Yeah, it should be coming up now. Normally I do my streams Monday mornings Japan time, but this week I couldn't because I have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm doing it today. And if you miss it, you can get the link there as well. And if anybody would like to support the channel and help this channel bring more and better content, you can also become a member and you get some extra perks in there. So please check them out. Let me know your thoughts. And you see I have a new subscriber in here. Who was it? I cannot pronounce it. Mie Ben. If you're here in the stream, thank you for passing by. And guys, if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Really close to 5K. Very excited for that. How is this possible? How was this done? Let's see. I think that this is something that is becoming, I don't know if it's becoming more popular, but this is, I think, how do I say this? I think in case of emergencies, this is a good technique, I guess. How do I talk about this technique? If you're very aggressive, if you have good footwork, you can threaten the man, and as your opponent is anticipating you to come in for man and protect him there, you have the opportunity to go around and hit the kote. And I think that's what happened here. If you watch, let's watch it in full and regular speed. So Natsumeda on white didn't just do a kote, right? He went in with a big motion, and it looked like he was gonna go for men, but instead of going for men, he went for that kote. So it's not necessarily that he threatened the man, but he just made the motion as if he was gonna go for man, and then switch the target for the kote. Now, what's very important here is that you have to throw your legs in. If you watch, his right leg is off the ground before he engages his hands. And as he's engaging his hands, his right foot is on the air. He's bringing the hands up. And then here is when he throws the technique. If you get in the habit of throwing your hands first and then moving your legs, you're not gonna have the control that you need to do things like this. So if you want to work on a skill that is really going to improve your kendo, if you want to work on a skill that is really going to improve your kendo, practice throwing your body in and then throwing your hands, because then you have the control to make big motions, move around, and just overall offset the timing. So very good skill, very good approach, very good ippon. So let me know your thoughts. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay guys, so this was the final for the All Japan Kendo Championship of this year. Very interesting. Let me know if there's any videos you guys want me to, to analyze, to break down. Again, if you're a member of the stream, of the channel, you get a couple of extra perks. One of them being that you can send me a video for review and I can help you out. And if there's anything you want to work on and you're feeling stuck, I can be of help with that and try to analyze it, break it down, and give you some Kendo tips to move forward. That being said, guys, thank you very much for everybody being here. You guys keep me motivated. Keep making these videos, keep making these streams, and also to study more Kendo and grow my Kendo so I can share up with the world. If you haven't, please take a second, hit that like button. It really helps the stream to get pushed down, the channel to grow. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe. Please share this channel with somebody very close to 5K, and I'm very excited for that. So I hope that can happen within like the next day and very close. But if you can help out with that, I'll really appreciate it. Asas, thank you very much for your support. Wiki, thank you for the analysis. Anytime, I'm here again. Monday's Japan time, so US time is going to be Sunday evening. And I talked about the video. Hold on. Somebody asked me about the Fumikiri early on in the stream. So let me get the link, get the shareable link. There you go. There you go. And I'll just put the link of the video. If you guys want to go watch the video that I posted when it comes to Fumikiri, please, the link is right there. And in the Discord, you can contact me, and if you have any questions, anything I can help you out with, you can do so there. Or Instagram is a good way to do it. Okay, thank you very much, guys. You have a good rest of your week. Please get some good training and let me know if I can help you out with anything. Take care. Bye.